Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, the 27th of February, 2023. And this is my first attempt at taking some of the weekly data that we get out of bestagent.co.uk to see what we can interpret from it as to what's happening at the coalface in the housing market today, rather than looking at last month or the month before that's figures, which is what typically happens. Now, before I show you the data that I've got for this week, I'll just give you the headline, which is that asking prices are going up. For the data I've got for England, it's just English, doesn't include Scotland, Northern Ireland. I've got England and Wales. We're going to talk about England data. The asking prices are going up for the second week in a row, both the median and the average asking prices. But this is just the asking prices of unsold properties. The asking prices of properties marked as sold subject to contract are falling, and that's where we've got to be very careful. No one thinks that rising asking prices means rising house prices, because it doesn't. So I have got on the line with me my friend Alex, also known as Housing Stig, who's going to pick holes in anything I say. So he's here to challenge me and say, well, no, Charlie, that doesn't make sense, or your data's talking bollocks, or whatever. So we'll just see how this goes and see what happens, okay?
Morning, Alex. Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Charlie.
So let me show you what we've got on here. And I've just realised I need some notes that I haven't got with me, but never mind, we'll crack into this and see how this goes. I want that down there, actually. Alex over there. And there we go. That's the way to do this. Right, so I'm not going to go into every single detail here, but I wanted to point out that, first of all, the total number of homes showings for sale compared to a week earlier is up 4,400, okay, at 228,000, which is about a 2% rise in a week. So that's a 2% increase in supply. That's fair to say, isn't it, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely.
2% increase in the supply of homes advertised for sale. In the same week, the median asking price of those available homes has jumped from 304,000 last week to 310,000 this week, which is a 2% jump in the median asking price. And the average asking price has just gone up about 800 quid, which is sort of 0.2%. But the point is that the asking prices of unsold homes are going up. Now, in a normal market, and when I say normal, I mean everyone knows that most of the time house prices generally are climbing at one rate or another. They seem to be climbing. Then it's typically the case that the asking prices are going up because the underlying house prices are going up, typically. But what you can see in the second line on there, which I'm realizing must be quite small on the screen, actually. See if I can zoom in a bit. There we go. That's not looking good, is it? Sorry, guys, while I just get this. I can't sort of get the... I'm going to work with it, right? So the total number of homes showing a sale agreed has only gone up. It was under 1,000, about 960, I think it was. Yeah. Compared to the 4,500 that available homes has increased. So the supply of newly listed available homes is going up at 4 times the rate as the number of homes showing as sale agreed. So in that simple, very rough metric, supply in the last week has outstripped demand, as indicated by homes showing as sold, by 4 to 1. That is a downward pressure on prices. That is an supply increasing faster than demand is, and will have a downward effect on prices if it in fact is the case. Now, one thing I would like to point out is that this does not include homes that have been sold and therefore are no longer showing. We can no longer track the price. But this is assuming everything else is equal, we're tracking the same thing 1 week to the next. The number of homes coming onto the market is going up much faster than the number of homes showing as sold. Now, the median price and the average price for homes showing as sold is falling. Small amounts, but it's falling. And I think that's the key. If the median asking price of unsold stuff is going up, but the median price of, quotes, sold stuff is going down, then it won't be that the asking prices are rising for the typical reason, it'll be for a different reason. For example, and we don't have the evidence to prove this up, but for example, one reason that the average asking price would be rising is because there is more higher value property being listed. For example, more detached houses are being listed than flats. Correct, Alex? That's a
Yeah, that's a fair. I'm trying to work out how it would happen. That's certainly one of the reasons. People downsizing, whatever it may be. Yeah, it appears that, as you say, more valuable properties are being put onto the market.
Now, what we also have, what we don't have precise pricing figures for, and I've linked to it in the story where this video appears on a page with a blog. There's a story, and in fact, I can share it on screen as well now. Is Gesundering makes a comeback, and there's some quite eye-watering figures in this. So this is 24th of February, it's just a few days ago this came out, and it's data from the House Buyer Bureau that found that 3 in 10 sellers had experienced Gesundering during the last property transaction, and this is actually from figures just before Christmas, right? I think it's getting worse. So 2 weeks before they did exchange. Okay, no, where's the figure? Here we are. This is the wow figure. Despite the returning scourge of Gesundering, 3 out of 4 sellers decided to press ahead with the transaction, accepting the lower offer. That doesn't happen when house prices are rising.
No.
Does it?
No. No, and I mean the next bit is also quite frightening. So of the 25% that didn't, 1 in 5 said the sale ended up collapsing.
Yeah. Which means that the buyer did not proceed and the seller missed out on a sale.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, that's one story. The other, so that's the reason I share this story, is because it's a material relevant fact in the question of, are house prices going up, or is just asking prices going up? Well, actual house prices are going down. Now, the second story I wanted to share is from Chris Watkin doing his stats show, and it's not very precise exactly what he's quoting here, but his exact words are fall throughs as a percentage of sales. Now, whatever exact comparison that is, or whatever is a percentage of, it is the highest percentage in the 8 years that they've got data for that week, just for that week, right? So fall throughs are the highest by some considerable margin of any point in the last 8 years, as is the number of properties having price changes, which is predominantly price drops, right? 53% of listings. Now, again, we don't know if that's 53% of all the listings or 53% of listings that came to the market that way. Again, it's a bit imprecise, but the point is, looking at their own comparison, it's the highest. So advertised price falls is the biggest, strongest indicator of no interest in a property. So if the number of listings having their asking price reduced publicly is increasing, that again is a sign that house prices are not going up, and that at the coalface house prices are going down. There's no interest in what's in the market. They're having to drop the price publicly to try and stimulate interest, and a lot of sellers are chasing the market down. So for these reasons, and combined with also the conversations I'm having with people in the industry, it is my view right now that when the official data finally comes out several months from now, we will see that price falls at the coalface are sharper than they've been at any point in the last 6 months. The number of properties coming onto the market is going up and is outnumbering properties going for sale by 4 to 1. All of these are strong downward indicators on what's happening to transaction prices that we just don't have sight of until we get the official figures. And Alex, I know you've been looking at land registry data quite a lot recently.
I have.
There's a lot of fudge factor, isn't there?
Well, and that's the thing. Not so much in the land registry data. The problem is it's just such a huge data set that it's quite difficult to analyze with tools at home. But there is no doubt, even if you accept that the land registry data from November onwards is not up to date, and actually, they would claim that it probably is. Certainly, December will be updated tomorrow, actually. But just going to October, you can see the fall starting both in transactions and in cost. In fact, in terms of transactions, the whole of last year was pretty bad. And I've been analyzing the knock-on effect to estate agents and commission. And yeah, it looks like hard times ahead. There's no doubt things are going down at this point.
Both transaction volumes and prices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that I mean, what's the purpose of putting this out there? It's that, there is still an awful lot of narrative from the industry that the market's surprisingly strong and it's better than expected. And we're expecting the spring bounce to bring life back to the market. Well, I think you're going to see, let's just break that down. I think the spring bounce is going to be a bounce in yet more supply. We're going to have more and more and more and more unsold properties sitting out there.
Yeah.
And whatever interest there may or may not be from buyers, actual bids is all that matters. And at the moment, those are showing that where there are bids, they are lower. And the number of bids from first-time buyers is also lower because a lot of first-time buyers don't want to buy at the top of the market.
Yeah, I've got to admit, Charlie, I see this going the way that we've discussed previously, which is when the price becomes attractive enough, institutional investors will be snapping these up, and we'll see home ownership decrease and more people in private rentals.
Yeah, that might be the long term. That might be the long term outcome here. It'd be interesting to see if we can start to see that happening. But for now, I'm going to leave that there. You can follow me on Twitter at moving_Charlie. You can follow Alex at Alex Groundwater on Twitter. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.